Hello one and all, my name is Sean Splains and this is Slay the Spire 2. Last time we left off, I was just at the end of Act 2 and pushing into Act 3 with a really strong silent deck on Ascension 1, and today we're going to finish it all off. We have the option of 999 gold, which we've already got quite a lot. Choose 3 cards in your deck and give them Swift 3, so every time you play a card for the first time, draw 3 more cards on top of that. This pairs really well when you've got a lot of energy generation, or maybe with something like Calculated Gamble, but I don't think that's going to be really good for us. And then we have the option to raise our max HP by 31, which is a really good safe bet, but I think we might take the 999 gold and hit 2 different shops, because I like just buying lots of things, and it means we can spread out our build a little bit more and try and get some more crazy things going on. Here I'm going to start off with our tracking power and our footwork. We keep a hold of the survivor. As we know, this guy scales really fast, so we want to kill him as quickly as humanly possible. So we might finally use one of these potions, or 2 of these potions, because I just want to deal with him as quickly as possible. And none of them is affected by flex. Although, now that he's vulnerable, we can attack him a lot. I'll take the defend here, I'll strike, and then I'll wait. Then this turn we'll just push in for the kill most likely. Get those discards up and finish him off with shivs. Just like that, we get another leading strike. This is because I didn't take the fan of knives in the last one. I could have still forced a shiv run, and we still will try. We might get another fan of knives here. No, we get more noxious fumes. We get assassinate, which kind of works well for us now. I mean, just an excuse to get some early damage on an enemy isn't bad. We get bag of preparation, which we love to see. Chemical X works really well with Malaise to get an extra 2 weaken and then -2 strength on the enemy. And we even get red mask, which weakens all the enemies. Really strong options here. We'll remove a strike, and I will in fact take the assassinate just for some front loaded damage, so that is fine. I'll also, I don't need potions. I'll probably just end up holding on to the potions and keep them for the final boss. And I imagine this will be a very fast act. So I'll start by putting the vulnerable down here. I will burst into equilibrium to get a lot of block and hold onto my hand for 2 turns. Then this turn I will expose the one in the back and push in for the kill. Then finish him off and blur to give myself some extra block for next turn. Then I'll neutralise and Calculated Gamble to kill with Tincture. I love seeing that happen. And on the topic of Tincture, we'll take another Calculated Gamble. I'll push for the elite in the middle here. And now this combat's changed. It used to be 2 different axe bots that would continuously stalk and replace themselves, but I think it's now supposed to be 1 harder axe bot. Because I think it had 50 HP before, but now it's at 76. So this is slightly different for anybody who has already played a little bit of the game. I'll burst into Knife Trap so that we play Knife Trap twice. Then I'll discard, killing it off. And we get the new one coming in. And, oh yeah, it played twice because of burst. I mean, it's really not that threatening an enemy if we look at it. I'll expose it to get the vulnerable down. I'll hit it there, and I'll use Malaise on it. Did a little bit of damage to us, so now we get to Calculated Gamble again. I'll use Escape Plan, then I will just gamble. I'll use Leading Strike. And now this is the last one. I'll use Knife Trap to hit it 4 times, get more energy, attack it again with more shivs. It's up at 18. I'll Bouncing Flask, Footwork and Defend. So we take 6 damage. Taking a little bit of chip damage this combat, but it's fine. Okay, I see it does scale its damage much faster. It didn't used to scale that quickly. But it's still manageable. We managed to deal with it in the end. So here, Backflip's a good option. It's another strong block card. It helps us draw through our deck faster. As much as we're at 30 cards, I think that's totally fine to do. Here I will Assassinate. And I kind of want to footwork here, because this guy is pretty strong. But Calculated Gamble's really fun. That's where the predicament's coming in here. So I'm going to Calculated Gamble. I will Leading Strike. Shiv Shiv. Leading Strike. Shiv Shiv. I've now got this at 9, so next attack I play I get an extra energy back. I don't really want to do that just now. So I'm going to weaken it for an extra 2 turns. Hopefully we run into tracking, which we do. This allows us to deal more damage to it. We get that extra little bit of energy back, which means I can double defend and I don't have to use my survivor yet. Here I will expose to remove all that block. I'll accuracy for future shivs. I'll blur. So there we go, we got the combo. We managed to hold on to our captain's wheel block with using blur. And then I will Bouncing Flask to get some poison down. This turn I will burst into Bouncing Flask and Malaise. So that puts his poison all the way up to 35. We can weaken him twice. Then I'll hold on to Calculated Gamble. This turn I will allow myself to just get some block in. Or we just kill like that. I forgot about the tracking, just allowing us to do insane amounts of damage there. I don't really need a second expose, don't need dagger throw or ricochet, so that's fine, we'll just move on. We get the Soul Nexus first for the elites, which is the single heavy hitting enemy that just attacks every single turn. I'll Assassinate and then weaken. Might as well expose. I can Equilibrium, accuracy and backflip. That seems quite excessive in terms of block, but it's fine, it will work out. We'll take the footwork and I will... Do I mind taking damage? I don't really mind taking damage here, to be honest. I think I'll leg sweep, it's fine. And this turn, I will Malaise to just take down its strength. So now down at -7 strength. I'll Calculated Gamble just to get through some of my hand. It's now doing 0 × 4, so I don't need to worry about anything. I'll burst into defend and blur, so we keep the block for 2 turns. And it's fine. I'll escape plan, do a couple of shivs, get my energy back, then I'll just weaken it some more. And again we get to keep all of the block. But it's not really doing that much damage since we removed its strength by 7 anyway. So now we can just slowly kill it off. Not really feeling that threatened. So even when we are weak, when we are vulnerable, it's not really doing any meaningful damage. I'll Equilibrium, and we do actually get another block card. Doing 0 × 4 again. I'll burst into Knife Trap in a second. And that should end the combat. So there we managed to use Warpaint to upgrade 2 pretty important block cards, and we get Accelerant. Poison's triggered at an additional time, so that's really going to help us in the final fight especially. We get Strike Dummy, which gives us an extra 3 of damage on all of our strike cards. And I have the option basically to go for 2 elites or go for the shop. We're obviously going to go for the shop because we've got so much money. We can just buy 3 relics probably. And here we get Mecha, who we've seen before, and this is another reason we wanted to expose, but we didn't get it turn 1 unfortunately. I think I might just gamble here. We escape plan, we get the other gamble. I don't really want to assassinate yet because I know expose can deal with this artifact, so I will footwork and then gamble. We do get the expose now, which is good, so now he's got no more artifact. I don't mind taking a little bit of damage here, so I'll accuracy, and I think I'll leading strike to just try and get some shivs off. And then we get noxious fumes. I really need to keep an eye on these numbers. At the top, always keep an eye on your relic numbers. Clearly I don't. Here I will Bouncing Flask and then I'll play Accelerant so that the poison attacks twice. So as I mentioned, it's not that it does 15 damage twice there, it does 15 then 14 because it ticks down over time. Which is what I mentioned when we first unlocked the card. Which is why I brought that up, and now I'm rambling. So here I'll play Backflip, get a couple of attacks back, I'll play my strike, then play my leading strike. Because we've got tracking on the go and we're dealing double damage as well, we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot. This poor guy has no idea what's happening to him. I will knife trap here because I think it might kill. Yep. Then we do get the option for murder, which I think I'm going to take just because I haven't taken it yet. And it's a really good card, simply put. I'm going to take the Accelerant upgrade because it triggers 3 times now. So if we can get 50 poison on somebody, they're going to take 148 damage. 147 damage, which is ridiculous. I will land the vulnerable into this guy. Then how are we going to do this? I'll do footwork into leg sweep. I will expose to get the vulnerable down, then I'll noxious fumes to counter having to deal with so many of these little guys. I'll take a little bit of chip damage, so I'll proc my Centennial Puzzle and draw more cards. Now that we're getting the poison down, that's really handy. I'll take Accelerant, and Murder's already gotten really strong. I will Equilibrium, and then I'll shiv into the main guy. So because that's attacking 3 times, it just becomes so much more impactful. It's actually crazy. I'll neutralise into middle. I'll use tracking. So now that's doing 84 damage. So hit him for that. And as long as one of these things just hit him, which they do. And then do this. Nice. You'll love to see it. Got Piercing Whale, but we don't actually need it. That's a really good card usually, but we only take things when we need them. And here I'll Assassinate. I will play Leading Strike into up my sleeve, into Noxious Fumes. Here I will play Burst into Escape Plan to try and draw 2 cards. Then he's doing 16 damage. Again, I don't mind taking a little bit of chip, although I don't even think I have to because Malaise, yeah, it takes him down to doing nothing, obviously. Malaise is such a ridiculous card sometimes. I'll Knife Trap just to deal an insane amount of damage. Equilibrium and Footwork. Here I'll Expose, Neutralise, Bouncing Flask and Leg Sweep, so we don't take any damage. And then I can Murder into calculated gamble. Do we get an attack? Do we get an attack? No, no luck. So we'll kill him next turn. And that's that. Here we get another blur. I think that's a good idea to take that actually. And then we get a merchant just before the final boss. Tools of the trade. Would have been really good to pick up that Lost Wisp earlier on now because we're getting a lot of powers. Firstly, we'll look at these. So we'll take Pendulum. Every 3 turns draw an extra card. Start the combat with an extra energy. And then we can pick up to 5 potential card rewards. I don't think we really need Tools of the Trade. I mean, it's handy because you draw an extra card and then you can discard one. Pairs up with Tincture really nicely. But I think we'll take the Orrery because there's certain things that would just be really nice to see. So whenever you take this and you get your 5 cards, I suggest always looking at all 5 and seeing how well they would pair with different things before you commit to taking anything. And for me, what I'm seeing is a Footwork Plus is really good. A Prepared is really good. A Prepared Plus is really good. And I think that's it for me. Another backflip would be tempting, but I don't think I need it. I think getting the extra dexterity and getting the ability to draw more cards, and for that reason we'll take a calculated gamble as well. Being able to draw more cards is just really nice to have in this deck at the moment. And then we want to upgrade something. We could take the cost down on that. But I think what I'm going to go for is another upgrade on accuracy, so that my shivs do more damage, because they're probably going to be my main damage point here. So here, as I mentioned, we have the Aeonglass, and I wanted the Expose so that I could get rid of the artifact here. Unfortunately, we don't start with it, so I'm going to just calculate a gamble right off the bat. Hopefully pull Expose. We don't, but I do pull Prepared. So I can remove 2. I don't want Malaise yet, and I don't want Defend right now, so that's fine. I do want to play the Footworks, so I'll play them, and I'll Blur. And I kind of want to keep my calculated gambles at the moment, so I'll just backflip to get some more block. And the more cards that you play, the more Withers get put into your hand, so you kind of want to finish off the battle as fast as you can. But we should be fine. I should also take Fish Oil, forgetting it's the last combat, so there's no point holding on to potions anymore. So he does a big attack, and then we'll do a double attack. Again, I want to just try and keep playing my powers. So I'll play Accelerant, I'll play Tracking, I'll remove, and I'll take a little bit. So we get 18, they're just going to upgrade the Withers now, so the Withers do more damage. I will Accuracy, then I'll finally get to Expose. I will burst into Bouncing Flask. And with the Accelerant going off, this is going to be doing a lot of damage now. I'll calculate a gamble so I don't have to deal with that Wither. Or that Wither. I'll Escape Plan, we don't get very lucky with that. And then I'll just remove its, I'll put it down to -3 strength and -3 weak. It's taking 60 damage a turn basically from the poison, but if we can find Bouncing Flask again. Come on. Oh, 52 damage from Murder. It's doing 15, but at this point we've got so much health, I should just go for it. I will just Murder. 156 damage. Because of the tracking. That's ridiculous. 156 damage. Can we get another Bouncing Flask? I want to finish him off with this poison. I will Prepared first. Oh, nice, we get that. So I'll get rid of this. I will backflip. We do get Bouncing Flask. I'd like that. The game is pretty much over. We'll calculate a gamble. And we can lead in because we're not quite getting there. Now we're getting there. So we take a bit of damage from Wither, and the Accelerant finishes off the Aeonglass. So we got to see a few new things there and highlight some different bonuses. The Accelerant into the poison build is so nice to see. If you can get 2 or 3 Accelerants going off, so you're just triggering the poison and dealing like 1,000 poison damage in one turn, it's really entertaining to see. And we weren't getting much of a Shiv build. We actually got our first restless run where we didn't rest a single time in the entire run, which is really cool. We spent more than 1,000 gold. We got more than 25 relics, which means we've moved on to the second line, and we killed 6 or more elites. I feel like we could have got 9 or more elites based on how our first act went, but we went a bit passive in the end because we could get so much money and go for the merchants. But I'll quickly just unlock the epochs and then we'll call it a day for this run. Here we have the calm. The blight stopped consuming. The ground, dry and brittle, begins to moisten. The clouds around the spire douse the lands. The sunlight pierces through newly formed cracks in the clouds. It has been done. Someone had slain the spire. And here we unlock 3 new potions which are available for all the characters. Powdered Demise, enemy loses 9 HP at the end of each of its turns. Ship in a Bottle, gain 10 block, and next turn, gain 10 block. And Touch of Insanity, choose a card in your hand, it is free to play this combat. All of these have really good uses. This one specifically for high cost cards. This one is just similar to Dodge and Roll where you get to have block for 2 turns, which is always nice to have. And this one, it's important to note that it says at the end of each turn for the enemy, they attack and then they lose the HP. So it's important to keep that in mind. We unlock a few new things. And then we have one more for beating Ascension 1 with the Silent. We have Soup. Hello little one. The massive Tezcatera whispered to the Silent. Grow big and strong. The ancient speaks in a tender tone and scoots over a bowl of nutritious soup. And here we get more Shiv stuff. So next turn I really want to try and do a Shiv build. It is so fun to do. And here we get a really cool new enchantment which got added kind of more recently. Inky, where the Shivs deal 1 additional damage and apply weak. So you've got weak synergy going on with your Shivs. We have Shivs gain retain, and your first one you play each turn deals an extra 9 damage. And then we have Hidden Daggers, which allows you to discard 2 cards and add 2 Shivs, which considering I loved discarding, this just creates my favourite build I can do. So hopefully I can pull that off next time. And after all that, that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for joining me on yet another adventure through the Spire. I'm so glad we managed to make it another win. We'll see how long we can keep this streak going, but I hope you've learned something, I hope you're enjoying this along with me, and I hope to see you in the next one. If you look above here, I'll lay out the playlist for the rest of the Silent, and in future videos I'll try and lay out playlists related to the character videos that I'm doing, or whatever's coming next. So if you could click on that and give a view if you haven't seen it already, or click on subscribe so you don't miss anything that's coming out in future, that would be great. I have been Sean Splains, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.